Hey everyone, welcome to or back to the channel. My name is Hunter Hauk, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing some of my subscribers' reptile and amphibian enclosures. This is always a fan favorite video. People love seeing me, react to their enclosures, and I always love seeing your enclosures. I always get new ideas, and I always get to help give you new ideas. A lot of times people in the comments see an enclosure in one of these videos that they really like, and it gives them inspiration to do something cool with one of their reptile enclosures. So I think this will be a very fun video. I have a page on my website where people can submit enclosures, and so they've just been kind of rolling in, and I haven't checked in a while. And I recently checked the inbox for this series, and I realized that I have a number of submissions that I need to get through, so I figured let's get through them in today's video. Okay, there are a dozen submissions that I haven't opened yet, and there are some of these that I have opened that I was like, okay, I don't really want to use that one, so let's start out here. We have leopard geckos, we have a ball python, it looks like, a Pacman frog, corn snakes, crested geckos, corn snakes, okay, a fire skink, ooh, that's exciting, and more leopard geckos. So it looks like a lot of you guys have leopard geckos whose enclosures you want me to review, so we're gonna start off with a leopard gecko and then we'll move on to something a little more out of the ordinary for my channel. I don't know which one to click on though. This one, it looks like, is Bioactive, so that's very exciting. We're gonna start with this one. Okay, Barbara. Oh geez, this submission is from November, so sorry it took me forever. Barbara says, I know it isn't the best and it's still a work in progress. I got the leopard gecko a week ago on Thursday. His previous owner was moving and couldn't take him. He came to me in this 18 by 18 by 12 with only paper towels as substrate and one hide. I added the Bioactive desert soil mix from Josh's Frogs on Saturday. I was a little nervous to change over the entire tank since the leopard gecko is about 7 years old. There's a ceramic heat emitter in the back that keeps the left side the warmest. I wonder if the tank is maybe a little too crowded or if the hides are too big. He seems happy and is eating. Okay, so this one is an 18 by 18 by 12, which for us Americans who like to think in gallons, that's 16 gallons. So regardless, that's way below the minimum. The minimum for a leopard gecko is 30 gallons. I recommend closer to 40 or bigger if possible. So I already know off the bat, I'm gonna have one piece of feedback for sure. Now, looking at the first photo, okay, I really wanted to start this video on a positive note, but frankly, I don't like this enclosure at all. How do I put this nicely? So this is not bioactive. Just because you have loose substrate does not make it bioactive. You have to have live plants and some microfauna, which are small live animals, usually crustaceans, such as isopods, and then you also have springtails. Yeah, this is not bioactive. This is way too small, and a ceramic heat emitter is not proper heat. It only puts out, to my knowledge, UVC wavelengths, so if you want to replicate the sun as best as possible, you need something like a halogen heat bulb, or a deep heat projector is another good option. I like that hide. I even have a couple extras of that hide because I like it so much. I just have a couple in storage for whenever I need them. I feel like this type of setup has a lot of potential, but I would recommend that you move your leopard gecko to like a 36 by 18 by 18 or 36 by 18 by 12 if you don't have a lot of space for height. Yeah, this enclosure is just too small. Get rid of the paper towels, just go all loose substrate, but make sure that you have proper heating, not just a ceramic heat emitter. Ooh. And if you're gonna call it bioactive, you need live plants and some microfauna. This, I would also do a background. I mean, this really does not replicate the leopard gecko's natural habitat very well, unfortunately. So thank you so much for submitting this enclosure and for trusting me to give you feedback about it. I hope that you'll take my feedback into consideration and help give your leopard gecko a better life. Okay, we started off on not the greatest note, so I want to pick one that I think we can't go wrong with. I really want to see what this fire skink enclosure looks like, because fire skinks aren't super common and usually if you have a more uncommon reptile, they're harder to impulse buy, so it's more likely that you've done proper research, and I really want one that is a good enclosure. Okay. Ooh, and this person even did it in the requested format. I love this one already. Squid Kid submitted this. Love that name. Species, Fire Skink. Size of the enclosure, 30 by 12 by 18, alright. So that's about 30-ish gallons. Lighting and heating, a 50-watt daytime bulb, which gets the basking spot around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. It's on a 12-hour on, 12-hour off cycle right now. Other information, this person uses calcium with D3 instead of UVB, and the soil is bioactive. I mist it once a day and pour water onto the moss about once a week to maintain humidity. Okay. I have high hopes. I haven't looked at the pictures yet. I'm opening them right now. Okay. This is a lot better than our last enclosure. For me, I really love when enclosures have backgrounds, so my first piece of suggestion off the bat would be to give this fire skink a naturalistic background. You can use the dry lock method or something so that you can put one in, or you could order a universal rocks background or something. They're kind of pricey, but definitely worth it. So I would say, I really like how you have plants up high. I would maybe get some of the fake grasses or something. That would be really cool. I do see a water bowl. It's in the front left corner. I was like, wait, where's the water bowl? That's kind of important, but I saw it. Yeah. So I know you said the soil is bioactive. It doesn't look like you have live plants, so your soil can't be bioactive. It can't complete the full nitrogen cycle. So if you wanted to add live plants, that would be cool. You'd have to get a substrate that supports plant growth. But yeah, you could add some live plants, some isopods and springtails, a grow light, and I think that would be super cool because then when you have live plants, the enclosure is constantly changing a little bit, so it's constantly giving your skink new enrichment opportunities. So there's that. I like that you have natural heating instead of a heat mat. I would definitely recommend that you use UVB for a fire skink. I don't know a ton about them, and I'm going to be completely upfront about that, but I think any animal can benefit from UVB. All but 2 of my animals have UVB right now, the 2 being a salamander that only has 1 eye, and that's because she's in a bin setup while she's little, and my Woodhouse's toad, she has had UVB, but she ended up just burying herself, so yeah. I think that most animals, though, do find benefit from it, so that's something I would recommend trying out. And hey, you have the Zilla Herp Hotel. I own several of those too. That's this gray hide. I really like it. It's easy to clean. All of my animals like to climb it because it's easy to climb, and then they can also hide in it, and it has a couple of openings. Yeah, I like that fake plant. Okay, let's watch the video that this person sent. The skink is in the video. It's so cute. It's the skink eating. Oh my gosh. Looks like it's eating a mealworm or something. That's cool that your fire skink will eat off of tongs. I really like that. It was just an 8-second video. That is super cute. I really liked that. Thank you for sending that. I really like your enclosure. I think that you could make it better by adding a more natural substrate and some live plants, a cleanup crew, and UVB, and a background. Those would be my suggestions. But yeah, so far you're the best enclosure we've seen out of the 2. Okay, we have an enclosure. It says 3 corn snakes. Oh, okay, they're all separate enclosures. I was like, are we cohabbing corn snakes? Because I don't know about that. Okay, the top 2 enclosures are 4x2x2 custom reptile habitats. That's my favorite enclosure that I have. I have one sitting right next to me. Not a 4x2x2 though. And the bottom one is a 4x1.5x1.5 from Reptile. Alright. They're all on aspen since I live in Florida and it's very humid here. They have heat tape hooked up to a thermostat and DP projectors hooked up to dimmer switches, all fake plants. Oh cool, okay, so the first one is the Reptile one. It looks like, yeah, I like this enclosure as well. Okay, I'm on the second photo now. I really like this. My suggestion so far is just add a background that they can climb. I'm fostering a king snake right now and he loves climbing opportunities, and so does my hognose. Colubrids often, a lot of people don't give them opportunities to climb. I like how you have opportunities to climb in here, but I think if you gave them a background that they would climb, that would be additional opportunities. So that would be my suggestion so far. I really like these. These are some of my favorite corn snake enclosures that I've seen submitted for these videos. These are really cool. I like them a lot. I'm trying to think if I have any other suggestions. Maybe test out UVB, see if that's something that your corn snakes find benefit from. I think they will, certainly. Maybe in just like a quarter of the enclosure, you could try adding another substrate, like a play sand topsoil mix or something, so that they have just another texture that they can interact with. Thank you to Parnell for submitting those. Okay, we have a Lemon Blast ball python next. Ball python enclosures are hit or miss. I feel like half of them I hate and half of them I love, so hopefully I love this one. It's a 5-month-old Lemon Blast ball python, so not fully grown. And we don't have pictures of her, it looks like, because she's in shed, so we didn't want to stress her out. It's a 40-gallon with a screen top. The lid is covered in foil tape to help humidity. It's a mix of cocoa core, Reptile chips, and moss. Okay, that sounds cool. It's a 150-watt lamp with a 100-watt ceramic heat emitter on the hot side and a 150-watt ceramic heat emitter on the cool side. Alright, so those help boost the ambient temperature. I definitely wouldn't recommend them as the main basking spot, but it looks like it's not your main basking spot. There's a Mist King misting system. Okay, without looking at the pictures, I can already tell I'm gonna like this. For plants, there are just fake ones, but some live plants are in quarantine to go in soon. There's an isopod and springtail culture that this person is gonna add soon to work their way towards bioactive. That's exciting. The sides are blacked out so that the ball python doesn't see a bunch of motion, which is nice. And the person is gonna upgrade to a 4x2x2 enclosure when the snake is older. And there's an extra light. Alright, I'm really liking this so far. This may be my favorite enclosure of the day so far because it just looks natural to me. And I know that like a ball python isn't gonna say this is natural and this is unnatural, but I personally like it. It's aesthetically pleasing to me so far, which I like. I like that there's a lot of different textures for the ball python to interact with. That's really nice. There's a big water bowl. It looks like you have one of the like Govee brand, I think it is, thermometer and hygrometers. I really like that brand. I use them. There's the Reptivine's Pothos, which is one of my favorite fake plants. They're hard to beat and they last a very long time. And it looks like there's several hiding opportunities. Moving on to the second picture, it's another angle. You can see the warm hide. Okay, I really like this enclosure. I think maybe add a climbing background. That's going to be my suggestion for all of them that don't have one, because I really like adding backgrounds and making backgrounds. So maybe you will too. Yeah, I really like this. It looks like you might be using a blue heat bulb. That's not necessarily bad, but it just isn't beneficial. I would just use a normal heat bulb if you are. Maybe it's just how the camera made it look. But yeah, I really like this. I would say, I'm not sure what your temperatures are since you didn't say, but just make sure that you have a proper gradient and maybe consider adding UVB. I can't remember. I don't think you said that you have UVB, so definitely consider adding that as well. Maybe that's something you'll do in the adult enclosure. Okay, this is a Pacman frog. We need an amphibian in today's video, and I don't know that I've ever reviewed a Pacman frog enclosure in a video. Now, for those of you who don't know, I don't have a Pacman frog, but they are a species that I really enjoy, or a group of species that I really enjoy learning about and researching, so I'd say I have a fair amount of knowledge on their care, and I definitely plan to get one in the future. I really like Ceratophrys ornata. That's definitely my favorite species of Pacman frog. They're also called the ornate Pacman frog, but I think that they're just cool in general. This is a 3 to 4 month Pacific horned Pacman frog. I only know them by their scientific names. That is Ceratophrys stolzmanni, which are they're like tiny and they are adorable. Okay, I'm gonna like this one. It's a 16 by 8 by 10, which for a 3 to 4 month old little Pacman frog is probably good. I will have to visualize it once I see the actual pictures though. The substrate is just Zoomed Eco Earth, so it sounds like it's going to be a basic setup, but for a juvenile frog, that's probably good. The wood is birch bark, and the leaves are oak leaves. The plant is fake, and she's going to upgrade after quarantine, which this is also from November, so quarantine is probably over by now. So definitely send me updates for the next video, I don't know. The heating is a Zilla heat mat, which, okay, Pacman frogs, there's a lot of varying opinions on heating for them. I personally would not use a heat mat for a Pacman frog, or any frog or toad for that matter, simply because those are so prone to overheating and they're so sensitive. I would definitely do a heat lamp on a dimming thermostat just to be 100% certain that it's the proper temperatures. Yeah. Anyways, I bought some sphagnum moss a while ago and had it in his tank, but I learned that sphagnum isn't the greatest, so I guess she took it out. Okay. I'm gonna be canceled by the frog community here, but that is ridiculous. Sphagnum moss is not the enemy here. You can use it in moderation and it's perfectly safe. There, I said it. Don't come for me, Facebook frog groups. I've kept animals for years, but this is my first Pacman, looking for advice if I've missed anything, and all. She says that she's a huge fan of my channel, and it's amazing to see someone close in age make it this far. That just made my day. Thank you so much, Addie. Okay. Oh my gosh. You can see the frog in the first picture in the water bowl, and it is so cute. I really like how you have lots of textures for this tiny little frog to interact with. You have plenty of substrate, so if it wants to bury or burrow or dig, it can. I like that you're giving it that opportunity to express natural behaviors, and I like that you have cool hides. I know you said that the plant is fake, but it looks really realistic, so it can probably interact with that similarly to how he would interact with a live plant in the wild, so that's cool. Yeah, it's a small enclosure, but the frog is really small, so my only thing would be, when you do upgrade him when he gets bigger, maybe do Bioactive or something. A lot of people have success with Bioactive for Pacman frogs, so it's something you could try for sure. Here's the picture of the LED bulb. I have never heard of this brand, so I don't know whether it's good or bad, but I'm really glad that you shared that because maybe someone in the comments will know, oh, this is a really good bulb or this is not, so I guess check the comments. This frog is adorable. That's all I have to say right now. Yeah, the enclosure, for such a small frog, I think it's a good size because, you know, you can have a proper temperature gradient for such a small frog in this small of an enclosure. I'm excited to see what it looks like now, almost 5 months later, because you submitted this enclosure a while ago and I'm finally getting to it. So yeah, send me updates for the next video. And it looks like there's a video clip. Okay, let's check that out. It's a close-up of the frog just chilling in the water bowl. Addie, your frog is adorable. Hypno, you're a pretty cute little frog. Thank you so much for submitting this enclosure. I really like it. Yeah, those would be my only suggestions. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, this next one is from Stephanie. I feel like I've reviewed enclosures from multiple people named Stephanie, so you know who you are, Stephanie. This is a leopard gecko. It's a 40-gallon Exoterra, or 36 by 18 by 18 inches. The substrate is a 70-30 topsoil and sand mix. I really like that ratio. Good job. There's a lot of leaf litter under the pothos to the left for cleanup crew. The powder oranges, dwarf whites, and temperate springtails. The leopard gecko doesn't like walking on the leaves too much. That's interesting. I guess my leopard gecko, when I do put like a pocket of a pocket of leaf litter somewhere, she doesn't usually interact with it too much. There are 4 hides. The cork round tunnel in the back left. The cool hide under the water bowl. I'm excited to see the pictures. This sounds interesting. Is the front left, okay. Humid hide is the front right, and the hot hide is the back right. I'm using a halogen lamp on a VE200 thermostat with an additional CHE right now for the winter since the dining room gets to about 63 degrees at night. Alright, the T5 light fixture has one 5.0 UVB, and one 6500 Kelvin VivoSun Grow bulb. Okay, this is awesome. I really like this. This is the best leopard gecko enclosure that someone has ever submitted to me for one of these videos, so good job. There's UVB, there's natural heat, it's on a dimming thermostat, it's bioactive. This, I really like this a lot. I'm getting very excited about this. So you can see there's pothos, there's a snake plant. Actually, did they say? No. I'll just have to guess. It looks like some golden pothos or something, a snake plant, and some, maybe aloe? I don't know, and I don't know what the plant in the back right is, but I really like this. There's a background, there's climbing opportunities, there's digging opportunities, there's hiding opportunities, there's basking opportunities. So many opportunities to exhibit species-specific natural behaviors. You have done a wonderful job here. I have no suggestions. I want to go and take everything out of my leopard gecko enclosure right now, both of them, and remodel them to look like this because your leopard gecko enclosure is amazing. I really like this. And your leopard gecko is super pretty. Yeah, wow, okay, cool. Oh, cool, and there's some more succulents in the back that I didn't even see from that first picture. I'm moving in a few months, and once we have the new house built, I'm planning on redoing a lot of my enclosures. When I redo my leopard gecko enclosures, I will definitely be referring to these photos. I have no suggestions other than keep up the good work because you're doing a really good job here. Alright everyone, that is today's video. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted your enclosures. If you want to be in my next enclosure review video in another 5 months when I remember that I have an entire inbox for these submissions, definitely head to the link in the description and submit your enclosure. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are new here and just came across this video, I would really appreciate it if you would help me out by subscribing to my channel. I'm hoping to reach 10,000 subscribers soon, and I just hit 8,000, which I am really grateful for. Thank you all so much for your support. Don't forget to turn on post notifications because that way you won't miss a single video of mine. Again, I'm so sorry it took me like a couple of weeks to make this video. I recorded it once with a few other submissions, but my microphone was not plugged in. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me very upset. So those submissions I can't use because I always like to get my actual reactions on camera. So sorry about that to those people. If you want to support my channel, definitely head to patreon.com/hunterhauk and you can join my Patreon and get awesome perks for as little as $1 per month. It seriously helps me out and I really appreciate it. You can also go to shop.hunterhauk.com to get some cool reptile and amphibian merch, including this mug right here. There's lots of cool designs, so I really appreciate your support. Thanks again to all of you for submitting your enclosures. Again, the link in the description will let you submit enclosures for the next time I do this video. My name is Hunter Hauk. This has been reacting to my subscribers' reptile and amphibian enclosures, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!